Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be applications you can apply to your life and a little more in depth about the chapter. We are in 2 Samuel 7, verses 1 through 29. Now, Nathan was a prophet, and God made sure that there was a prophet with each one of his kings. Now, some of the kings listened, and some of the kings did not. So, when David had said that he wanted to build a cedar house for the Ark Covenant, Nathan was the one that stepped in and talked to him on God's behalf. Now, it was not wrong for David to want to build a house of cedar for the Ark Covenant of God, but it was the wrong timing. Are we willing to accept God's no? Sometimes God tells us no because he has a plan for us, and we cannot run ahead of God's plan and jump into doing somebody else's work. So we have to pray with the good intentions and listen to the directions of God. And according to God's no, accepting God's no requires a great deal of faith so that we can carry out his yes. Now David prayed and humbled himself before the Lord, and he thanked God that he was going to establish his kingdom even with his seeds. Now God went with the children of Israel from Egypt into the wilderness, and the Ark Covenant even went from being with Israel to being with the Philistines, back to being with Israel. Now, God was present in the Ark Covenant in order to be a visual sight of something that Israelites could see. But God is too mighty and too strong to contain him to one small space. Today, God lives in our hearts. And now, while God did have a plan for David, he did not allow him to build a house for his Ark Covenant. And we will read in the next chapter that David had shed too much blood to build his temple. But he would grant his son would build the temple for God. And as we continue to read, we will see that David's son did build the temple, and he made it very beautiful. And he was a very wise king and a very strong king. And let's think a little bit bigger. It says, I will be his father, and he will be my son. And he will be chastised with the rod of men and the stripes of children. This is Jesus. Jesus is our Lord and our King, and he will rule over us forever. Jesus is the one that took on our punishments. He would be beaten and spit upon, and the stripes of our iniquity would be on his back. And Jesus came from the bloodline of David. And kings will come, king will rise and fall, and seasons will come and go. And one day very soon, the Son of God will return to live in our lives. It'll be a new world, a new Jerusalem. And what a glorious day it'll be when we can see our Lord and our King, and he will reign over us forever. May God be with you in everything and in every way.